So today we're going to do this short review, just remembering about complementary and supplementary angles, and we're going to do some fractions on the review, and then you're going to take a little short test. The test is only 10 questions. It won't take you very long at all. It's a separate assignment, so you have to go back to the Canvas homepage for today's assignment, and you'll see the test is the second link. So anyway, complementary angles. So if they use the words complementary or complement, you know that they add up to 90 degrees. Now on the test, you won't have any of these wordy ones like this. They're going to have pictures and that kind of stuff. But anyway, the measure of an angle, at least they won't be these, they'll be some of the easier ones we've done before. The measure of an angle is double the measure of its complement. So as soon as you see the word complement, you should write 90. They add up to 90 degrees, okay? And I would probably make myself a little picture since they didn't give me one. And so 90 degrees is that big angle there, right? And I draw a line because it's got two angles. And it says, find the two angles. The measure of an angle is double the measure of its complement. So one of them is double the first one. So you can make one of them x, and to double something, it's times 2. So this will be times 2. So if I make one of them x, then the other one's going to be 2 times x. It's double, it's twice as big. So x and 2x, if I add them together, they equal 90. So that's your equation. So I just need to make an equation out of the information that they've given us. X plus 2x equals 90. So here we go with x plus 2x equals 90. X plus 2x equals 90. Once I have an equation, I can go solve this. And of course, simplify x plus 2x, 1 something plus 2 somethings is 3 somethings. Divide both sides by 3 to get rid of the 3, and x equals 30. So one of the angles is 30 degrees. So this one is 30 degrees, which means this one is 2 times 30, which is 60 degrees. So 30 and 60. And then you can always check it by adding the two together and make sure that they add up to 90. And I always check it by adding and make sure they equal 90. Okay, second one, if angle A and angle B are complementary. So again, they add up to 90 degrees. And angle A and angle B are equal to each other, right? So the two angles that add together are the same. They are the same number. So again, find the measure of the two angles. So this is a 90 degrees, right? And here's my line. These two things are identical. So what is half of 90? You could literally just do 90 divided by 2, right? Put it in a calculator if you want to, and it's going to tell you 45. So if this one's 45, then this one must be 45 because they are the same measure, right? They're the same. And then check it by adding them together. Make sure you do get 90. And was it truly complementary? Yes. So I kind of just double check everything. So 45 and 45. There you go. Next one. The measure of an angle is 44 degrees more than its complement. So remember, complement means the two angles add up to 90 degrees. So if you want to make a little picture, here's my 90 degrees, and I've got myself a line. So the measure of an angle is 44 more than the complement. So if one of them is x, the other one was x plus 44, because it literally said it's 44 more than the complement. So this is its complement, and this one's 44 bigger. So that's how you come up with the two numbers. And of course, how do you come up with an equation to solve for x? Because that's what we want to do, is find x so I can find the two angles. So add them together, they equal 90. So this plus this equals 90. That is your equation. This plus x plus 44 equals 90. Once you have an equation, you're just solving for x. Simplify the left side. 1 something plus 1 something is 2 somethings. Plus 44 equals 90. And of course, we get rid of the 44 first to add subtract numbers, so subtract 44 from both sides. Boom. 2x is equal to whatever this number is, and you can use your little calculators for this, but 4 from 10 is 6. You had to borrow one for the 4 from 8 is 4, so 46 degrees. But now we still have to divide by 2, so x equals 23 degrees, right? So that's the first angle, so 23. But how do you find the second one? It's x plus 44, so 23 plus 44, right? So you can put that in the calculator if you want to, but that's 7 and that's 6. So 23 and 67 are the two angles. And again, I would add those two together in the calculator, make sure they equal 90, right? Double check that if you add them together, they equal 90. All right, fractions. Remember, anytime you're adding or subtracting, this is a subtraction problem, this is an addition problem, they have to have the same bottom number. This is the only time they have to have a common denominator. Does this one already have a common denominator? Yes, so then it's just 3 minus 1 on top. And of course, 3 minus 1 is 2/8. Check to see if you can reduce it. Will 2 go into both of these? Yes, they're both even, so 2 will divide evenly into both of these. And that will be 1 over 4. And that is your final answer. It is reduced as far as it'll go. Again, addition has to have the same bottom numbers, and they don't have the same bottom number. but they will both go evenly into 6. So I'm going to use 6 as my bottom number. You could have also used 12. You could have also used 18. There's a bunch of bigger numbers that they go into, but 6 is the smallest one that they both go into. This one already has a 6 on bottom, so I'm going to leave it as 3, 6. This one I need to change into a 6. So times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, which means times 2 on top. 2 times 2 is 4. So 2/3 is the same as 4/6. So now I have my new problem over here with the numbers being the same. 4 plus 3 means I have 7 on top and 6 on bottom, and that is my final answer because nothing goes evenly into 7 except 7. All right, division problem. Keep, change, flip. Multiplication and division are the easy ones. Keep, change, flip is the only time you do it as division problems, okay? So 5/8 I keep, change to multiplication, flip the second one. Now it's a multiplication problem. Multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 1 is 8. Now, these are both even numbers, so can they both be divided by 2? Yes, they can both be divided by 2 to reduce. So this is 5/4. And there's nothing that goes evenly into 5 except 5, and so that is as far as you can go. All right, multiplication. Again, easy ones. You don't have to have the same bottom number. You just multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. Now, 2 will go even into both of these, but you would have to divide by 2 a couple of times, or you could, maybe you'll know that you can divide both of these by 6. So if you divide both by 6, you get 1/3, and that is your final answer because that's as simplified as it can get, 1/3. Number 8, we are just simplifying, which means combine like terms because I'm not doing fractions anymore up here. I've got just adding and subtracting pieces, so I'm looking for like terms. These two are like terms. So 8 somethings plus 3 somethings is 11 somethings. The -5 just trails along. That's the constant on the end. They are not like terms, so I cannot put them together, so you've got to know when to stop. This is a multiplication problem, so multiply the big coefficient numbers, the 3 and the 5. And what do we do with the exponents? Yes, you add the exponents. So 3 times 5 is 15. X squared times x to the 4th is x to the 6th because we added 2 plus 4 to get a 6. There we go. So that was your review on that part. The second sheet is some pictures, complementary, supplementary. So when you see this diagram, you see this little box here, that means they add up to 90 degrees. So these are complementary angles. How do I find this missing angle? Well, since they add up to 90, and I know what one of them is, I can simply just subtract 90 minus 45, and that also equals 45. So these two angles are identical. 45 plus, and then check it. 45 plus 45 should equal 90. If these two numbers don't add up to 90, then you did something wrong in your math. Okay, so always check. Whatever your answer is, go ahead and add them back up. Make sure they equal 90. Okay, this one. So the directions on this were finding x. So we found x in that one. But this one, to find x, I need to know what this angle is, and they did not give me that angle. So the only way I can find x is if I make an equation, because they didn't give me an equation. These two angles are complementary, meaning they add up to 90 degrees. So this plus this equals 90. That's the equation you can make. X plus 32. That's the first angle plus the second angle equals 90. That equals something a little bit better, right? So once you have an equation, you can solve it. X plus x, 1x plus 1x is 2x plus 32. It's just simplifying the left-hand side before we get going. Nothing to simplify on the right, nothing anymore to simplify on the left. Which number do you get rid of first? We get rid of the 32 first. Always the add subtract number before you get rid of multiplication. So we'll do it to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other side. They cancel. 2x is equal to 90 minus 32. You had to borrow 1. 3 from 8 is 5, so that's 58. Then divide by 2. And put it in the calculator. X equals 29. So this is a 29, and x is 29. They didn't ask you to find the two angles. They just said find x. So there it is 29. All right. Next one over here. So if you've got these, go ahead and do them, and then check your answers and see how you did. So that was 1 and 2. Number 3, these two add up to 90 degrees because this is a 90-degree angle here. So they're complementary, but they add